How's it going, everybody? I'm back here with another video, and today I want to talk about Halloween H2O. Now, I know as I'm recording this video, I am really late. Well, not really late. I'm a couple days out from Halloween, but I watched this film before Halloween, before the actual day. And, with this whole thing with the debacle, and I've been talking a lot of Halloween stuff on the channel. So if you wouldn't mind, I'll probably put a suggested my suggested videos. I will put my other Halloween content. But if you wouldn't mind going and checking those out as well, we really appreciate it. We've been doing a lot of Halloween stuff with the podcast and with videos, and I figured I would kind of, I don't know, cap it off, I guess you could say. Not that this will be like the last Halloween video on the channel. I plan to do a ranking video and things like that. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Halloween H2O, and I wanted a good excuse to do it. And I mean, who are we kidding, right? We can always talk about Halloween all year round. It's one of the best franchises of all time, in my opinion. And I'm a horror nut, and I love slashers, and I love Michael Myers. So I'm always here to talk about it, and hope you guys are along for the ride. So if you're here and well, first off, if you're new here, thank you for coming to the channel. If you wouldn't mind liking this video and subbing to the channel, really appreciate it. And for all you guys that have come back, thank you. Thank you for watching the podcast. Thank you for staying updated with the videos, following us on social media. Really appreciate it. If you haven't done already, follow us on everything. Links are in the bio. Check out recent episodes of the podcast. I'll probably link one at the end of this video, specifically our Halloween Ends video, where it was me, my buddy Najee, co-host Jan, and Brandon Murata Media. And we talk everything Halloween Ends, and we had a hell of a time. So you definitely go check that out. And yeah, here's another Halloween video for you today. And here we are talking about Halloween H2O. So this movie, man, well, what can I say? I think that I kind of see there's a bit of a divide with this film, because I think that while there's a lot of us out there who really appreciate what this movie goes for, and a lot of things that it does right, there's some people that do not have a liking to this film, and I think there's a couple reasons of that. One of the reasons is this film came out during that Scream, the Scream era, I guess you could say, of slasher films, right? Scream came out in 1995, I believe, maybe 96 at the latest. And this movie came out in 98. So this is right off the hoof of the popularity of the Scream franchise. And when you go back and watch this film, it feels very Wes Craven Scream to me. Like, if you took Michael Myers out of it, this could pass for a Scream film. And to be honest with you, I don't really have an issue with that. I love the Scream franchise. I love everything it brings to the table of horror. I love the characters. I love the concept. And even to this day, just this show, and just to express how popular their idea for Scream is, it's still popular to this day. It's one of the biggest horror franchises of all time, right on up there with Halloween. It deserves its own little category next to Halloween as being a very, I say the word iconic a lot in my last Scream 1996 retrospective, so I'm trying not to use it here, but it is very iconic in a sense where it's almost on the same level as Halloween as far as how big the franchise has gotten. So I think that's one of the reasons why there's complaints on that front, right? Like, I don't really have a problem with it, but there's some people that are like, wow, what happened to Halloween? It kind of lost its identity, and now it's just copying. I don't really think it copies. I think it just does it. I think it does that Scream formula, and it does it very well, and even changes it in some way. So look, let's get into the movie, man. Let me just say this off rip, dude. I love Laurie Strode in this movie. I feel like Laurie Strode in this film is way more believable. I feel like she's a bit more likable. It makes more sense in the direction that she is. Like, she hasn't thrown her life away completely because of this crap. Not that, and that's the thing, I was telling the guys on the podcast, I'm not saying that what Laurie Strode went through and her friends getting butchered wasn't something that wouldn't traumatize a person. That's stuff that none of us would ever want to go through. But I felt like the way she is in this film, her being the headmistress at this school, and and raising her son, and she seems very wealthy. She seems like she's doing very well for herself, but that one night of the year really has her, through the roof. She kind of she's very sporadic, and she's antsy, very anxious. And it makes sense, right? I mean, it makes sense that stuff like that, even 20 years later, which is nuts, like H2O is 20 years after the original. Here we are with the new trilogy, that's 40 years. It makes sense for her trauma. And I did like I did like Laurie Strode a little bit better in this. I like the whole, you know, she didn't let this control her life, but so much. Yes, she still has turmoil. She still has trauma, like Jamie Lee Curtis has said a lot in her interviews, but it's believable. I love the soundtrack, dude. I'm sorry, dude. Look, I'm one of those. I like Creed. I like Creed. I like that you know, I guess you say alternative rock, whatever you want to call it. I thought the soundtrack was really good, and Scream, that franchise, they have really good music taste as well. So you know, it's I like it. You know what I mean? For that alone, I really like it. I love the setting. I think that the final set piece where Michael is on the loose and he's killing fools left and right, and he's chasing these kids around, especially the horny big nose guy and his girl. I thought the kills were great, and within this and this setting, you know, with the school having, you know, what you think of a school, it's got so many rooms, so many corridors and hallways and closets and you know, different, just bunch of ways that you can get killed in a school, and I like that concept a lot. And I think it's very creepy, especially having someone like Michael. He's very stalker-esque, and that's one thing I will say. My next thing I really will say is I like Michael in this film. Even though Michael is a little bit on the shorter side, and his mask, oh my God, his mask. Dude, like, I'm not even shitting you. Like, I didn't know this when I was a kid. You know, I've always loved Michael Myers. But man, dude, Michael is always like this in the movie. Like, he's just like all the time, because they made his freaking eye holes so goddamn big in his mask. And it's like, yo, like, like who passed this? And that's my gripe with these movies, man. Let's get on that for a second. They do a terrible job replicating that original mask. Like, I know you gotta like mix it up and make it a little different. You have to make the mask you give Michael in your film something that is special, something that is different. And I tell you right now, bro, they succeeded in that. I'll give them that, dude. The fucking mask is ridiculous. But here's the thing. That logic only works. So like, if you sit here and say, okay, well, this person directed this film, so he made the mask this way, and this person directed this film, so the mask was this way. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. I don't really have a problem with that. It's just like Rob Zombie directing his movies. That mask looks different as opposed to the original John Carpenter one. That's nothing wrong there, because it's not the same timeline. But if you go sit here and tell me Halloween 4, 5, and 6 are the same timeline, and look at his fucking mask. One of them has the freaking the freaking bottom of the mask sticking out. There's a channel called We Watch the Movie, and they sell T-shirts on their website. And maybe I'll put a link to their channel in the description. And they literally have a T-shirt that says, "Tuck that shit in, bro." And they're talking about that mask in Halloween 5. It's fucking disgusting. It's terrible. But anyway, that's all the subject. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, but all in all, how Michael acts, how he walks, he's very, very stalker-like, and I like that. I appreciate the Michael, especially with the way Kills and Ends has gone in the past couple of years. You really haven't gotten that really stalker-esque Michael Myers. You know, very like he's more of a predator as opposed to just being just a freaking machine. Nobody can stop him like a Terminator. I like that more of like, okay, he's hiding in dark corners and doorways, and I just find Michael. So even after all these years, and we've seen so many movies with Michael Myers, I still think he can be effective as a horror icon, and he is a horror icon, but to be more effective in that department if they made him more of a ghost of the shape, right? Nobody really knows what he looks like, and I think that is interesting. Yeah, I mean, like all the characters are pretty great in it. You know, they're kind of, you know, generic, but they're not bad. The opening sequence, I thought that was good, bringing back the original, you know, the original nurse, and they even have Jordan Levitt, I think is what his name is. Jordan. I can't remember what his name is. Oh my God, dude. I'm probably gonna put it up on the screen here because I'm a fucking dumbass. But he was in it for like 5 minutes before he got killed. So look, what I will also say before I close is, man, is I like the ending. To me, this is the definitive ending for Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Laurie Strode hunts Michael down. Hunts Michael down. They get into their fight. Laurie comes out on top, and then at the very end, she realizes, hey, look, dude, his body's still intact. He's got to fucking go. You know, takes the van that has Michael's body bag in it, and goes down this curvy ass mountainside. She ends up flipping the van. Michael falls out, gets smashed by the van, And then freaking Laurie takes an axe and chops this sucker's head off, and the freaking beautiful Halloween theme plays, and while the camera zooms out, just freaking perfect. And to me, that's a definitive way to end this series. In my opinion, it's the original and in Halloween H20. In my opinion, I guess no, it's the original and H20, because Halloween 2 is pretty good, but it's not like, when I think of the best ones, I usually don't think about 2, even though it is a damn good film, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think about Halloween H20. I know this is more of a rambling video. I kind of just graze over some stuff. Let me know that some of your favorite parts down in the comments below. I really like this movie for what it does. I think that even though it is very Scream-esque, I think it works. I don't think it makes this film or puts a shame on what John Carpenter did before. I think honestly, it just solidified the slasher genre in the 90s. I think it did a good job. I think for what the budget they had, what they did, bringing in the people they did, having LL Cool J in the movie, which I was fine with. He was there for comedic relief. I was fine with it. I think you need to have a little levity in these movies. And I think everybody did a good job who was involved. And I enjoyed it. It's one of my favorites, man. I watch it a few times a year because I just enjoy the setting. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy Laurie Strode and you know, this interesting connection between her and Michael Myers, with them being brother and sister in this universe. And yeah, I have a really fun time watching it. So let me know if you guys are the same. And yeah, don't forget to check out the other videos. We have a bunch of Halloween content on the channel, and I'm telling you, I'm not over. Matter of fact, I'll probably talk about Halloween Resurrection next, because I just watched that, and I don't hate it as much as other people do. Sue me, I don't care. Fuck you. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.